here to present a documentary on the hazards of improper waste disposal on climate. As we all know, the Earth's climate is changing. Rising temperatures are bringing about changes all around the globe, including changes in precipitation pattern, along with an increase in the intensity of extreme events such as floods, droughts, rising sea levels, changes in the snow and ice cover, and changes in the growing season of crops, bringing about a hindrance in the agricultural sector.
There have also been adverse impact on public health, society, community and ecosystem. All of this is linked to rising the level of carbon dioxide and other greenhouse gases like methane.
The single most important reason for this is human tendency of improper waste disposal, dumping mountains of waste in ocean, land area and wherever it is possible, which are releasing dangerous gases which get mixed with the cloud and comes back to the earth in the form of acid rain, which not only affects our living organism, also the human health. So be the change to see the change in the future.
The 21st century has brought along an increase in development, industrialization, and better standards of living for people. However, what people fail to realize is that all this has also had a very negative impact on the earth, be it land, air, or water. With increase in the global population and the rising demand for food and other essentials, there has been a rise in the amount of waste being generated daily. The generation of waste has also increased improper disposal methods, in turn leading to many negative impacts on health, on our natural resources, and most importantly on our climate. Below are discussed the major ways wastage leads to a negative impact on our rapidly weakening climate. First, landfills. In some of the larger cities, the amount of organic waste accounts for almost 70% of the total waste generated. Most of this rubbish ends up in dump sites or in landfills. When organic waste decomposes, carbon dioxide and methane gas is created. Methane is created when there is no air present, while carbon dioxide is the natural product when anything rots in air. A recent World Bank report on waste management and climate change estimates that the current waste management methods, specifically emissions from landfill, account for almost 5% of the total global greenhouse gas emissions and 12% of the world's emissions of methane, a greenhouse gas with an impact more than 20 times that of carbon dioxide. This means that every ton of methane traps as much heat in our atmosphere as 84 tons of carbon dioxide. Now this leads to a huge increase in global warming. Accumulation of waste in these landfills has also led to the dissolution of harmful organic or chemical compositions, which is called leaching. The migration of these toxic dissolved chemicals from landfills into the natural resources like rivers, groundwater, etc. is referred to as landfill leaching and is a major urban soil pollutant, directly contributing to the degradation of the earth and its climate. Second, open burning of trash. Atmospheric scientist Christine Weidner conducted a study detailed in July 2011 in the journal Environmental Science and Technology, where she found out that almost 1.1 billion tons of waste generated worldwide is burnt in open piles, removing the garbage from the land but transferring it to the skies. An estimated 40 to 50% of the garbage is made of carbon by mass, which means that carbon dioxide is the major gas emitted by trash burning. As much as 29% of global anthropogenic emissions or small particulate matter come from trash fires, she estimated. About 10% of the mercury emissions come from open burning, as well as 40% of polycyclic aromatic hydrocarbons. Additionally, incineration of the municipal solid wastes releases emissions of nitrous oxide, which is a powerful greenhouse gas, also produced by the use of commercial and organic fertilizers, fossil fuel combustion, nitric acid production, and biomass burning. Third, ocean dumping. Despite the oceans being a very important part of this earth, communities around the world have used the ocean as waste disposal for years. According to the data compiled by the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration (NOAA), approximately 1.4 billion pounds of trash is dumped into the oceans every year. Some of the materials that are dumped into the oceans include the disposal of chemical and industrial wastes, radioactive wastes, which are quite dangerous, trash, munitions, sewage sludge, and other contaminated materials. During the particularly violent mining process, coal companies blow up the tops of mountains by using mild explosives and dispose of the waste, which often contains heavy metals, in streams and other bodies of water. It is estimated that every square mile of ocean has more than 45,000 pieces of plastic floating in it. A report by the United Nations Environmental Programme says that plastic, especially plastic bags and polyethylene terephthalate, is the most common of all ocean pollutants. They are also among the most deadly due to them being most non-biodegradable and often mistaken as food by marine animals, fish, birds and turtles, proving lethal for them. Ocean pollution not only has adverse effects on the aquatic life, but our entire civilization could be wiped out with the intensity of careless dumping. Introducing toxic chemicals in the ocean is as good as introducing them in the food chain. Once introduced, these chemicals will eventually make their way to the top of the food chain, and even apex predators, such as humans, won't be spared. The Marine Protection, Research and Sanctuaries Act of 1972, or Ocean Dumping Act, is one of several key environmental laws passed by the US Congress in 1972 to address the issue of ocean dumping.
Improper waste management is a growing menace in today's day and age. While it may take us only a few seconds to carelessly toss out our garbage, what we don't realize is that we are jeopardizing our entire future. And not just our entire future, but the future of our planet Earth. For example, when we toss out important materials like plastic, paper, metals and glass, they decompose and cause air pollution, water pollution and even soil pollution. They endanger the life of the flora and fauna all around us, which make this planet so beautiful. For instance, let's talk about how when plastic decomposes, it starts releasing a toxic chemical called DEHA, which leaches into the groundwater, contaminates it. It also contaminates the soil, making it less and less fertile. And someday in the future, plants may never grow again in this soil. Similarly, some people have taken to burning their garbage instead of segregating it or recycling it. And this releases toxic gases when plastic burns. It releases methane gas, which causes a lot of global warming when trapped inside the Earth's atmosphere. So dear friends, let's make a conscious effort, because it will take only a few minutes out of your entire day to segregate your garbage and to recycle it. So here's making a conscious and positive effort towards a good future.
Present with us is Dr. Shivam, PhD in Environmental Sciences, Fellow at APS Bangalore from the Energy and Resources Institute of Bangalore. Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
So we would like to ask you a few questions. The first one would be, according to you, what are the major causes for waste accumulation in the city of Bangalore?
Bangalore per se, I would rather say it is the behavior, the consumeristic attitude that usually each one is following. And none of them are personally taking it as an interest, like they need to segregate waste at source. That is the major cause.
So, sir, where do you see the greatest challenge of global warming and how to overcome it?
Global warming issue is both natural and anthropogenic. Natural, if you see the curve in which the natural GHG greenhouse effects for the effect, the anthropogenic sources are capable because of various activities that are today. So therefore the worst part is the radiations that the Earth is reaching. The blanket effect of this GHG is not permitting it to escape out of space, because of which there is a huge heat accumulation in the lower atmosphere, and because of which we have this. we are very closely working with climate change issues and policy that are coming down from there, behavioral change among the youngsters. We also try to work at different levels of ways. Rhetoric, if you are talking about the fact, there is an earlier discussion we spoke about the sustainable habitat issues. So, therefore, it is a holistic approach, very good, sir. But per se on this, the solid waste management, there have been various programs that are very so far conducted, and recently we have also tried to train officials of municipalities who are responsible for this stuff. In fact, there is an event which is happening on 19th of this month in Bangalore, where few of the municipalities will participate in it. So we not just work at the field, not just look at the issue as such, we also try to convert that into one is help in formation of policy of paper will come out. Not just that, we also train the officials to really matter, because we try to act as a bridge between both public and those who really matter. So the hands-on experience of everything, whenever any organization reaches us for any kind of knowledge support, Terry is always focused.
So according to you, how we can make people aware that we should not throw the garbage here and there, and how they can step forward to make
Well, for this, probably my personal opinion would be, I strongly believe students and being changes. The behavioral changes among students is one thing that we can definitely change. So what happens is a student starts practicing it, and there is a ripple effect. Everybody back home, they will also start saying, my son is doing, my daughter is doing, why not me? And they do it. That is one area. We should strongly do a public campaigns on this to create awareness among the public at large. Not just that, it should be a continuous program, not a one-time event, it should be a continuous program. So, public, residents welfare association, not-for-profit organizations, government organizations which matter, also should come together to solve this matter. Otherwise, it will be a huge problem to Bangalore. The other problem for Bangalore is the overpopulation of Bangalore, sizing of Bangalore. So, you have seen drastic, I would say, rapid growth in Bangalore, suddenly because of the cycle boom. And you have a little more than 1.4 crore people staying there. You have a floating population. So when you have a floating population, automatically these are some of the issues that should be addressed. So again, as they know, they should know what is the do's and don'ts. They should be told to them. And I think we can address this issue. It's not a big challenge.
So the waste, as we all know, the most of the waste that is being generated is ending up in landfill. So landfill has been a 5% contributor for the climate change, because it generates a lot of methane and other greenhouse gases, which are the direct reason for the climate change. So this methane is very potent because it is 20 times more than the regular carbon, which can affect for the climate change. So it's one of the more strongest gases which has a impact on climate change. But every time when we think of waste, there are two aspects I would say that the first is before consuming anything, we need to see whether it is needed or not. So just by taking something which is not needed may also end up as a waste unnecessarily. Unnecessary demand would lead to unnecessary waste. So the first thing, whether it is really needed, we need to see, or if not, we need to refuse to buy those things. So that is why the first principle of the R would come as. Earlier we had 3 R's, now we have more than 4. The first would, I would say, is the refuse. And the second one, anything you buy, it should be of your need rather than going for a luxury. Try to see that you reduce your consumption and use it as required, as needed. So, and then when you use, you see that if you can use it for a longer time, see that if you can use it for multiple times, that is where it comes your reuse part. Because everything that you extend the life of it, the time taken for it to go as waste will be longer. So that way it will be, you're not letting it to go for anything that will be something like a landfill or anything. So at the end, yes, there will be, everything has its life. So once it ends, it has to go to something, it will be called as a waste. But there the waste management is very, very important. But by following the proper recycling or composting sort of things, we can greatly reduce waste generate. I mean, like, what do you say? Waste ending up in a landfill. So that way, it's a very great thing to happen. And even otherwise as well, which we tend to, we fail to notice, because a lot of waste that is generated, especially in a city like Bangalore or in India elsewhere, they end up in a stormwater drain where water get clogged, and all the drain water also comes in there. The stagnant water, again the methane is generated, which is again the reason for like the reason for climate change. So that way, any product, even if we start buying unnecessarily, that is adding on the production as well. Anything that you want to produce, you need is fuel. Even the product, you need a fuel. After you consume it and you throw it as a waste, to manage it again, you need a fuel. So you're indirectly burning the fuel. Just not the treatment or getting a good product, but also the other necessities, like majorly the transport thing being supported by the fuel is a major contributor for climate change again. So conscious use of the things that you have would address majorly many of this waste and as well as climate change. But given the fact that given the fact that in the consumeristic world, we have to be very careful and cautious when it comes to disposing the waste, and we should see that we judiciously follow the system that is being told to us. Could be composting or could be recycling. And we should also make sure that any waste that is being generated is not being recycled or cannot be recycled. We should stop it somewhere. Like kurkure packets and all, these packets are, I doubt that whether still the technology has come up. It's still at the discovery stage. So we just need to check on that. Those things should be cautious on which other products we have.